London, a city etched into history, a sprawling metropolis that serves as a global nexus of finance, culture, and undeniable power. But if you look past the glittering glass of the skyscrapers and the crisp headlines of the Financial Times, you'll discover another, more ancient kind of empire. This is a complex network of families, dynasties, and entrepreneurs who have not only participated in the city's commerce, but have actively sculpted it for generations. They have built staggering fortunes not just in predictable assets like property or stocks, but in the very fabric of daily life, from humble scrap metal to the most exquisite high fashion. Today, we are peeling back the layers of secrecy to examine the 10 richest Jewish tycoons and families who are profoundly, yet quietly, shaping London's modern economic landscape. These are not merely business people. They are dynasties and individuals who control not just powerful companies, but the very ground beneath London's most iconic and storied streets. From gritty post-war beginnings to globe-spanning billion-pound enterprises, this is the definitive story of the dynasties behind the deals. Who are these titans of industry, and what were the pivotal moments that allowed them to build their colossal empires? Stick with us as we count down the 10 wealthiest. Number 10. The Peers family. Kicking off our list at number 10 is a family whose name has become synonymous with London property, a dynasty that operates with such profound discretion that you have likely walked on their land or even lived in one of their buildings without ever knowing it. This is the Peers family, the controllers of a formidable real estate empire worth a staggering $3.451 billion. The Peers family's story is a classic London tale of patient, generational growth. The empire's foundations were laid not with steel and concrete, but with fruits and vegetables. The patriarch, Bernard Peers, started a humble wholesale business in North London. After the turmoil of the Second World War, he and his son Clive demonstrated remarkable foresight. They pivoted away from their original trade and into property, establishing the William Peers Group and planting the seeds of a future dynasty. But the real exponential expansion came under the third generation. When Clive's son Mark Peers took the reins in his early 20s, he, alongside his brothers Trevor and David, injected a new, aggressive energy into the family business. They supercharged the family's acquisition strategy, transforming the business from a respectable local property firm into a colossal international entity. Today, the William Peers Group is a behemoth. It owns a sprawling portfolio of almost 4,000 properties across London alone, with significant holdings in some of the city's most coveted areas like Notting Hill. When you picture those elegant pastel-colored townhouses, it's worth remembering that a substantial portion is under their control. Their core strategy is deceptively simple and powerful: buy and hold. They are not flashy developers hunting for quick flips or overnight profits. They are patient, long-term investors, playing a game measured in decades, not fiscal quarters. They accumulate assets relentlessly, generating an immense and steady stream of rental income. While their heart remains in London, their empire is truly global, with substantial holdings in other major cities like Berlin. This quiet, almost unassuming approach has allowed them to amass one of the UK's largest private property empires almost entirely out of the public eye. The sheer scale is staggering. Mark Peers himself is reportedly a director of over 200 different companies, a testament to the intricate complexity of their operations. While their business dealings remain intensely private, their philanthropic efforts are far more visible. Through the Peers Foundation, the family has emerged as one of the UK's most significant charitable benefactors. They have donated tens of millions of pounds to vital causes, including Holocaust education and community development projects. Furthermore, Mark Peers serves as a trustee of the prestigious British Museum, reflecting the family's elevated status within the city's cultural landscape. They are the quintessential old money style of real estate magnates, a family that truly owns a piece of London itself. Number 9. Lawrence Graff. At number 9, we step out of the world of property and into the glittering realm of high jewelry, a universe of flawless diamonds, priceless gems, and exclusive billionaire clients. In this dazzling domain, one man reigns supreme: Lawrence Graff, the self-made king of the bling with a personal fortune of $3.65 billion. His incredible story is living proof that even London's grittiest, toughest corners can, with enough ambition, be paved with diamonds. Lawrence Graff's journey is a captivating and inspirational rags-to-riches tale. Born in 1938 in Stepney, deep in the heart of London's East End to a Jewish family, his beginnings were anything but glamorous. He left school at the tender age of 14 and became a jeweler's apprentice in Hatton Garden, the city's historic and chaotic diamond district. His very first job involved scrubbing the workshop floors, but an innate, burning fascination with diamonds and a relentless, unyielding ambition soon saw him move from cleaning to creating. By 1960, displaying entrepreneurial spirit far beyond his years, he had founded his own company, Graff Diamonds. His genius was twofold: an unmatched, almost intuitive eye for the most exceptional and rare stones, and a revolutionary flair for marketing them directly to the world's burgeoning class of ultra-wealthy elites. Graff didn't just sell jewelry, he sold legacy, rarity, and a piece of history. He became world famous for acquiring some of the most legendary diamonds to ever be unearthed, and his client list is reportedly a who's who of global power, including figures like Donald Trump and Oprah Winfrey. The Graff empire is a masterclass in vertical integration, giving him control over his entire supply chain. He owns a significant stake in a South African diamond wholesaler, a polished diamond trading firm, and a global network of more than 50 exclusive, opulent retail stores. His son Francois now serves as the company's CEO, ensuring that the Graff dynasty will continue to shine brightly for another generation. But Graff's investments don't stop at gems. He is astutely diversified into prime London real estate, a valuable modern art collection, and the stunning De Laer Graff estate, a winery and hotel in South Africa. His lifestyle is reportedly as lavish as the jewels he sells, with magnificent homes in Gstaad and a 150-foot yacht. From the cobbled streets of Hatton Garden to the glittering storefronts of Bond Street, Lawrence Graff built a global empire, one precious stone at a time.
Number 8. Sir Michael Moritz. Our number 8 is a man who didn't build his fortune from the ground up, but from the code up. Sir Michael Moritz, the Cardiff-born venture capitalist of German-Jewish descent, is celebrated as one of the most astute and respected tech investors in the world, commanding a fortune of £4.435 billion. Though much of his groundbreaking work is rooted in Silicon Valley, his profound philanthropic influence is now being felt very strongly back in London and the UK. Moritz's remarkable story begins not in a boardroom, but in a newsroom. After graduating from Oxford University, he moved to the United States and began a promising career as a journalist for Time magazine. It was during a specific assignment, writing a book about the fledgling company Apple, that he gained an intimate, front-row understanding of the nascent tech industry. He saw the future being written in lines of code. In 1986, he made a pivotal and life-altering career change, leaving journalism to join a small, little-known venture capital firm, Sequoia Capital. This was a move that would not only make him a billionaire, but would also change the face of modern technology. At Sequoia, Moritz cultivated an almost supernatural ability to spot future giants in their infancy. He was one of the very earliest investors in companies that are now ubiquitous, globally recognized household names, including Google, PayPal, Yahoo, and WhatsApp. Moritz's gift wasn't just providing the initial capital. He provided the crucial guidance, mentorship, and industry connections needed to turn a project born in a garage into a global phenomenon. The most of his legendary career unfolded in California, and he continues to reside in San Francisco with his wife Harriet Heyman. He has always maintained powerful and affectionate ties to the United Kingdom. After stepping back from the intense day-to-day management at Sequoia, he has refocused his energies on philanthropy through his foundation, Crankstart. As signatories of the Giving Pledge, Moritz and his wife have publicly committed to giving away the majority of their immense wealth. He has given over £100 million to his alma mater, Oxford University, specifically to create scholarships for students from low-income families, ensuring others have the same opportunities he did. Sir Michael Moritz represents a new, modern kind of billionaire, one whose wealth was forged in the digital fires of Silicon Valley, but is now being used to shape the future of British society. Number 7. Teddy Saji. At number 7, we have a tycoon who perfectly embodies the fluid, borderless nature of modern wealth. Teddy Saji, an Israeli-born entrepreneur, has made London his primary playground and the operational base for his diverse and ever-expanding £5 billion empire. He's a consummate wheeler-dealer on a grand scale, a man who has demonstrated a masterful ability to build, scale, and flip major companies in both the tech and real estate sectors. Saji first exploded onto the business scene by founding Playtech in 1999. With remarkable prescience, he saw the immense potential of the burgeoning online gaming industry. He created the sophisticated software platform that would go on to power countless online casinos and betting sites around the world. In a strategic masterstroke, he floated Playtech on the prestigious London Stock Exchange in 2006, a move that valued the company at around £550 million. Over the following years, he strategically and methodically sold down his stake, cashing in hundreds of millions and securing his first great fortune. Then he turned his considerable attention to a true London icon. In 2014, Saji began the ambitious process of buying up disparate pieces of Camden Market. He eventually consolidated the entire 16-acre site under his company, Market Tech Holdings. While some locals and preservationists feared he would sanitize its famous alternative punk rock vibe, he instead invested heavily to blend its unique character with a more polished and modern retail experience, before ultimately putting the revitalized market up for sale. Saji is the definition of a serial entrepreneur, constantly seeking the next big opportunity. He founded the innovative payment processing company SafeCharge, which he later sold for a massive profit. He built Cape Technologies, a cybersecurity firm that now owns major consumer VPN services like ExpressVPN, capitalizing on the growing need for digital privacy. He also delved into the competitive world of co-working spaces with his brand Labs. Teddy Saji is a truly global businessman who expertly uses London's deep financial and property markets as a launchpad to build his ever-growing fortune. Number 6. Ian and Richard Livingstone. Coming in at number 6 are two brothers who are arguably the most powerful and certainly the most secretive property moguls in all of London. Ian and Richard Livingstone, with a formidable combined fortune of £5.8 billion, are the masterminds behind London and Regional Properties. This is a company that has quietly and methodically assembled a global real estate portfolio of such breathtaking scale it is difficult to comprehend. The Livingstone brothers started their careers in a decidedly less glamorous fashion. Ian trained as an optometrist and Richard as a chartered surveyor. In the 1990s, they pooled their resources and their complementary skills and began investing in property. From their very first deals, they demonstrated an uncanny, almost preternatural ability to spot undervalued assets that others had overlooked. Their big breakthrough came when they shifted their focus from residential to large-scale commercial property. They founded London and Regional Properties and began acquiring some of the most prestigious and well-known hotels and commercial buildings in the world. Their portfolio is now a sprawling global empire, encompassing luxury hotels like the Fairmont Monte Carlo and the landmark London Hilton on Park Lane, as well as vast commercial estates and developments. What truly sets the Livingstone brothers apart is their enormous appetite for risk and their unwavering preference for operating in complete privacy. Because London and Regional is not a publicly traded company, they don't have to answer to shareholders or public scrutiny. This has allowed them to be nimble and decisive, moving quickly to snap up distressed assets during market downturns when others are fearful. Their influence on London's physical landscape is immense and undeniable, yet they themselves remain almost invisible. You won't see them giving interviews or gracing magazine covers. They let their monumental buildings do all the talking. The Livingstone brothers are the ultimate property power players, a dynasty built on a solid foundation of calculated risk, strategic silence, and an unparalleled collection of bricks and mortar.
Number 5. Joe Louis.
At number 5 is a man whose name is instantly recognizable to any London football fan, and a figure whose life story is filled with high-stakes drama. Joe Louis, the East End-born currency trader turned billionaire, is the man behind Tottenham Hotspur, boasting a net worth of £5.774 billion. Lewis's story starts not in a boardroom, but in a pub in London's Bow, where he was born into a Jewish family. He left school at just 15 to work in his father's catering business, Tavistock. Showing early promise, he greatly expanded the operation before selling it for a handsome profit. But this was just the beginning of his journey into wealth. He took his earnings and moved into a far riskier and more lucrative arena, currency trading. Living as a tax exile in the Bahamas, he became a legend in the volatile forex markets. His most famous and audacious trade occurred in 1992 when he, alongside the famous financier George Soros, bet heavily against the British pound on Black Wednesday, reportedly making an absolute fortune as the currency crashed. With his massive trading profits, Lewis founded the Tavistock Group, a private investment organization with holdings in over 200 companies worldwide. His interests are incredibly diverse, spanning real estate, luxury resorts, energy, and of course sports. His vast portfolio includes a priceless art collection featuring works by Picasso and Matisse, and the ultra-luxury Albany Resort in the Bahamas, which he co-owns with sporting legends Tiger Woods and Ernie Els. But for Londoners, his most prominent and emotionally charged asset is undoubtedly Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. His investment vehicle, ENIC Group, acquired a controlling stake in the club between 2000 and 2001. Under his ownership, Spurs have transformed from a perennial underachiever into one of Europe's elite clubs, a transformation crowned by the construction of a state-of-the-art billion-pound stadium that has reshaped the North London skyline. However, Lewis's storied career has not been without significant controversy. In 2024, he pleaded guilty to serious insider trading charges in the United States, admitting to passing confidential corporate information to his pilots, personal assistants, and others. He was ultimately sentenced to 3 years of probation and a $5 million fine, narrowly avoiding jail time. The verdict required him to step back from certain corporate roles, limiting his direct day-to-day control over his vast and complex empire. Number 4. Moshe Kantor. Entering our list at number 4 is a figure who for years operated at the complex intersection of immense wealth, international politics, and high-profile philanthropy. Dr. Moshe Kantor, a Russian-born tycoon with Israeli and British citizenship, commands a vast fortune estimated at £7.661 billion. Kantor's journey to immense wealth began in the chaotic aftermath of the Soviet Union's collapse. He first rose to prominence as the head of the telecoms firm Intelmass. However, he made his larger, era-defining fortune in the fertilizer industry. He expertly gained control of Akron, one of the largest producers in Russia, and over the years he methodically built Akron into a global powerhouse, a process that generated billions of dollars in personal wealth. While his business interests remained global, he established deep roots in London, with complex residency ties that eventually made him one of Britain's highest taxpayers. From his base in the UK, he established himself as a major and influential figure in European Jewish life. He served for many years as the president of the European Jewish Congress and founded the World Holocaust Forum, using his wealth and influence to combat anti-Semitism and organize high-level commemorations of the Holocaust. However, his long-standing connections to the Russian state, once a source of influence, became a major liability. Following the 2022 invasion of Ukraine, Moshe Kantor was sanctioned by the United Kingdom government for his alleged links to the Kremlin and his strategic importance to the Russian government. His assets were frozen, and he ultimately resigned from the leadership positions in the Jewish organizations he had spent decades and a fortune building. The sanctions abruptly transformed him from a celebrated international philanthropist into a deeply controversial figure, illustrating the precarious and dangerous nature of wealth when it becomes intertwined with global geopolitics. Number 3. Alex Gerko.
At number 3, we meet a new kind of financial titan, a man who used pure mathematics and powerful algorithms to build one of the most formidable and mysterious trading firms on the planet. Alex Gerko, the founder of XTX Markets, is a quiet revolutionary in the world of finance who's amassed an astonishing £8.745 billion fortune in a remarkably short period. Born in Russia, Gerko pursued a highly academic path, earning a doctorate in mathematics from the prestigious Moscow State University. There, he honed his skills in developing complex mathematical models to profit from tiny fleeting movements and inefficiencies in the market. He moved to the UK in 2006, and in 2015 he took the leap and founded his own firm, XTX Markets. XTX is not your typical city trading house filled with shouting brokers. It's a quiet, intensely focused firm run by mathematicians, data scientists, and programmers who specialize in market making. They provide essential liquidity to the financial system by simultaneously offering to buy and sell assets like stocks and currencies, making a microscopic profit on the spread between the two prices. The true genius of XTX is that they do this at almost unimaginable scale, with their daily trading volumes often reaching hundreds of billions of dollars. Gerko's brilliance was in building an automated system that is faster, smarter, and more efficient than its human-led competitors. Despite his immense and rapid success, Gerko maintains an exceptionally low profile. He has, however, become a major figure in British public life for one simple reason. He is the UK's single largest taxpayer in recent years, contributing hundreds of millions of pounds to the national exchequer. In a significant public move following the invasion of Ukraine, he renounced his Russian citizenship in 2022, solidifying his identity as a British citizen. He is also a significant philanthropist, focusing his giving on mathematics education to inspire the next generation of minds. Alex Gerko represents the absolute cutting edge of finance, a quiet billionaire who harnessed the pure power of algorithms to build a money-making machine of almost unimaginable scale and speed.
Number 2. Sir Leonard Blavatnik. Our runner-up, landing at number 2, is a man whose influence spans the globe, industries, and cultures. Sir Leonard Len Blavatnik, a Ukrainian-born British-American citizen, has meticulously built a colossal £25.725 billion empire. He's a master investor with a legendary Midas touch, a man who has a proven history of acquiring and transforming entire industries. Blavatnik was born in Soviet Ukraine to a Jewish family. They seized the opportunity to leave and emigrated to the United States in 1978, where he could pursue his ambitions. After earning prestigious degrees from Columbia University and Harvard Business School, he founded his own investment firm, Access Industries, in 1986. His first big break and his first fortune came from the chaotic privatization of state assets that followed the fall of the Soviet Union. He dove into the high-risk, high-reward world of Russian commodities, making a fortune in aluminum and oil. From his primary base in London, where he holds citizenship and residency, Blavatnik has since orchestrated a stunning series of audacious acquisitions across the West. His most high-profile and daring move came in 2011 when he bought Warner Music Group for $3.3 billion. At the time, the music industry was in a deep crisis, ravaged by piracy and falling sales. Many seasoned analysts saw it as a foolish bet on a dying industry. But Blavatnik saw the future. He invested heavily in the transition to streaming, and in 2020, he took Warner Music public in a blockbuster IPO, multiplying his initial investment many times over. Today, his label represents global superstars like Ed Sheeran and Dua Lipa. Through Access Industries, he holds major stakes in the chemical giant LyondellBasell and the sports streaming service DAZN, which has been ambitiously dubbed the Netflix of sports. Blavatnik is also a mega philanthropist on a scale few can match. The Blavatnik Family Foundation has donated over $1 billion to various causes. Huge sums have gone to Oxford University, which is now home to the Blavatnik School of Government, and to major cultural institutions like the Tate Modern, which named an entire new wing, the Blavatnik Building, in his honor. For his incredible services to philanthropy, he was knighted by Queen Elizabeth II, cementing his place in the highest echelons of the British establishment. Number 1. David and Simon Reuben. And now at the number 1 spot, we have the undisputed kings of London wealth. Brothers David and Simon Reuben rose from truly humble beginnings to build a dynastic fortune of an almost unbelievable £26.873 billion. They are not just one of the richest Jewish families in London, they are consistently among the very wealthiest people in all of Britain. The Reuben brothers were born in British India in the 1940s to a Baghdadi Jewish family. The family moved to Britain when they were teenagers, and they grew up in a working-class London neighborhood. Their beginnings were incredibly modest. David started his career in scrap metal, while Simon began by importing and selling carpets. Their first great fortune was made far from the streets of London, in the chaotic and often dangerous Russian metals market of the 1990s. As the Soviet Union dissolved, they plunged into the aluminum industry. Their company, Transworld Metals, became so dominant that at its peak it controlled around 5 to 7% of the world's entire aluminum output. The venture was immensely profitable, but also fraught with peril. After a decade of navigating this high-stakes environment, they sold their Russian assets and returned to London with a multi-billion-dollar war chest ready for their next chapter. That's when they began their second act, this time focusing their immense capital on London real estate. With the billions earned in Russia, they began buying up some of the city's most iconic and valuable properties. Their portfolio today is simply breathtaking. It includes landmarks like Millbank Tower, the historic Admiralty Arch, which they're currently converting into a luxury hotel, and a host of key properties on the ultra-exclusive Sloane Street. In 2021, they expanded their empire once again, becoming part owners of Newcastle United Football Club. The Reuben brothers are a true family dynasty, with their children now taking active and senior roles in managing the vast, globe-spanning empire. They are the ultimate London success story. Two immigrant brothers who started with very little and through relentless hard work, strategic genius, and fearless risk-taking, built an empire of metal, property, and power that places them at the very pinnacle of British wealth. In many ways, they don't just invest in London, they own it. From the property titans who literally own the ground beneath our feet, to the tech visionaries who are shaping our digital world, the influence of these 10 families and entrepreneurs on the City of London is undeniable and profound. They are philanthropists, innovators, risk-takers, and power brokers who have built empires that span generations and continents. Their collective stories are a powerful testament to the ambition, resilience, and strategic genius that have defined London's dynamic business landscape for centuries. These fortunes, measured in tens of billions, represent far more than just numbers on a ledger. They represent tangible influence and the raw power to shape the physical and cultural future of one of the world's greatest cities. So what do you think? Were you surprised by anyone on this list or by the sheer scale of their wealth? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this glimpse into the rarefied world of the super rich, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more stories about the people who are quietly shaping our world.